Increasing my testosterone, I've finally been able to regain control over my life. I stand up for myself. I'm not intimidated by other men. I'm capable of fighting back against those who want to hurt me. And I speak my mind freely without worrying about what others think. My presence demands the respect of all the other men around me. And when I'm speaking, I'm taken seriously. And I can do all this at only 21 years old. Now, I did this even with the history of being bullied, being submissive, and being socially anxious for almost all my life. And if I got to this point, I know you can too. My name is Jamil. I help young men defend themselves through testosterone optimization. I will get you to where I am today. Something important to know about testosterone is how fast can it be increased? And that's where the pathway of testosterone comes in, the faster pathway. Now, if you know anything about testosterone, you know it increases when facing an opponent. But how? Well, there's two pathways. The first pathway is the general pathway. That takes about 40 minutes to increase your testosterone. Now, you may think that's fast, but in reality, when you need it urgently, that's not really that fast. And that's called through the LH pathway, luteinizing hormone. It's in your brain, it sends signals down to other parts of your brain and then it goes to your testes, all that. But we want something faster than that. We don't want it to take 40 minutes. We want it instantly. And that's where another way came in. And is this way going to take 40 minutes? No. It's going to do it instantly. That pathway is called the catecholamine pathway. In other words, the adrenaline pathway. We are going to use this to increase our testosterone quickly. And that's where competition comes in. So why does testosterone increase during competition? Well, our body increases testosterone when it senses a threat to our status. What that means is when you're being challenged to a 1v1 and your status is being threatened as like the best and someone wants to take it from you, your body's going to shoot up testosterone to help you defend that position. It also increases when we are motivated to increase our own status. If you, for example, play chess against your friend and you never played, but you think to yourself, what if I beat him? What if I beat my friend who's been playing for longer than I have? That instantly makes me better. That also shoots up your testosterone. Now, not theory, this method applies to everything related to competition, physical and mental. It can be a sport, it can be fighting or combat sports, chess, it can be at work when you're trying to outperform your colleagues. And it also is increased when you're working toward a goal by yourself. But what we want is a competition against someone else. So if you compare competition with exercise, healthy eating, and sex, competition will always be number one. The highest increase in testosterone you'll see from all these is from competing. That's how important this is and why I want you all to know about this. If you'd rather have a course where everything is about improving testosterone is in there at your convenience, I do have a course down below. Check it out. It is a pre-sale. So once you buy it, you lock in your sale. You get it at a fixed price and it will never increase. Go ahead, check it out. So as men, it's our purpose to dominate something we're good at. That's why it's very important that that we implement competition in our daily lives. So, if we need to add value to the world, right? We need to improve it in a positive way and keep the ambition inside us alive. We can do that through competition. Now, if you really take a closer look, based on the studies that I've read and the videos that I've watched about testosterone, it's close to being an antidepressant. Yes, testosterone is very close to being an antidepressant. I can't really say it is because I'm not a doctor. But we can hack this with competition. Since competition is the highest testosterone booster, It's important we incorporate it in our everyday lives. Competition drives us to be the best men we can be. It encourages brotherhood, self improvement, power, and it destroys a sedentary and complacent lifestyle which plagues many men today. So, how is this going to increase your testosterone level? Well, if you take your baseline testosterone levels, we are going to increase that baseline up here. It was down here, but now it's right here. You may think that's a small increase, but any increase to your testosterone can be felt. If you're around men that constantly push you to be better, your body's going to keep you at high T, which means your body's like, you know what, we have to keep your baseline a bit higher so you can compete with these men. And in order to challenge them or keep up with them. That's why it's very important that you incorporate competition with like minded men. And that's how you increase the baseline. So there's actually a chest study done where it measured, if you go to the left hand side over here, their testosterone levels. And this bottom right here, ELO, that's just the level of chess they were at. Like everyone here is a grandmaster, top of the top at playing chess. And what they wanted to see was, do their testosterone levels increase when they face an opponent that's better than them, or if they challenge someone better than them. So if you go from right here, start from the left to the right, you can see almost every player has a slight increase in testosterone. Slight. And let's go to actually the biggest increase was in player number 2. I think this is player number 2 right here. See how it starts from down here? Down here. It goes all the way up. You see that insane increase? I have the stats next in this next slide here. Let me show you. So this is the analysis. So the average increase in testosterone was 150%. Yes, this was a real study, and I'll link it down below if you don't believe me. The average increase in testosterone was 150% just by competing. Now, player 2 that I was just talking about increased it by 600%. 600%. Now, of course, it didn't stay at that. It didn't increase like that forever, but it did go back down the baseline. But it just shows that you can't increase your testosterone through competition. What makes this even better is that they calculated free testosterone, and that's the testosterone in our body that can be used by the receptor, the androgen receptor, that allows your body to show the masculinizing effects, which means that we're increasing testosterone that can be used by our body. And that's extremely important because only about 2% of our testosterone is actually used. So if we increase that number, you'll have more testosterone and you look more like a man. And now after the competition was over, the winner's testosterone levels got even higher. But that wasn't measured. But it was shown through other studies that it does increase even after a win. Sometimes if you lose, it might decrease. Other times, even if you lose, it will still increase. So it's all a mix. But that wasn't measured. Now just think about how insane it is that it increases just from you sitting down and playing a game of chess. Now this occurs in other cases also. It could be sports, video games. Even in video games, this can increase. If your status is threatened in Call of Duty and you play against your friend and then you beat him, you get an increase in testosterone. But probably get a better increase if you see someone face to face. How do you compete more? First, challenge someone who is better than you at something. It can be physical or mental. Challenge your brother at the gym who can get more reps, who can lift more weight. That increases testosterone. Or if you have your friends, you can play them with a game of chess that I showed you. All that increases testosterone and try and make it as frequent as possible. I'd say about 3-4 times a week. Find a niche or an area that you're good in and try to be the best at it. For example, anything that you look forward to. If you like to research, try to be the best researcher you can be. If you love going to the gym, try to make sure that your physique is the best it can be. If you like to play football, try to be the best football player that you can be. If you find something like that, it will be very easy for you to compete against other people and against yourself. Now, put yourself in a competitive environment. What I mean by this is go to a fight club, a gym, like a fight club can be a boxing gym or a regular gym, where you have to constantly find ways to improve. This way you won't just be complacent and sedentary. You won't just stay like this the whole time. You have to find ways to slowly increase your level because each time you feel like, oh man, I need to get better. Your body's gonna push that testosterone through your veins, through your blood, so you can get better. That's how our body is. It's very easy to manipulate. And the last thing you can do is explore places where you'll find people who are elite at what they do or what you do. So remember we talked about niche or doing something you're good at? Go to a place where there are many people like you who are better than you and go spend some time there. You know, if you go there, you find someone who's better than you challenge them. If you get beat, that's fine because now you know how that you need to get better. And then through that time of you getting better and reaching that person's level, your testosterone is going to be elevated throughout the whole time. And if you could form a brotherhood during that time, you just found the perfect recipe of increased testosterone. Now, I know many people are not going to take this seriously. Even if you can't find something physical, you can go ahead and do something that's mental, I guess. You can play a video game against someone online, challenge them, beat them, that increases testosterone. But the increase in testosterone is instantly felt. It's amazing how it changes you, your ambition, your mood, your physicality changes completely. That's why it's so important that I get this message across for you. And if you felt like this message was important and you want someone else to hear it, share it to them. Don't be afraid. This is a message that all men need to hear nowadays because we're not getting enough of it. If you have any questions, any comments, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to get back to you. And take a look at that link down below. It's a course that has everything you need about testosterone optimization. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.